Good morning. 11 o'clock in the afternoon. We are going to get ready for the day. We got a little bit of a late start today. That's okay. Daddy didn't leave till 9 o'clock, so we've been slow moving. But we're going to get some makeup on this face, and I'm going to get ready using all products that are $5 or less. I know right now people are really having to conserve what they're spending, really be budget conscious. And so if you want some really good quality products, honestly, that will make you feel put together but you're not breaking the bank, then I have some good recommendations for you. So let's go ahead and get started on the brows. So I'm going to start with a all-in-one type product, the e.l.f. Bite Size Brow Palette. It's got multiple shades, and it has 2 waxes and then 2 brow powders. So you can start by using the wax to shape your brow and then fill in your brow with the powder. And I like that there are options as far as colors in one single palette. This is the shade Taupe. So I'm actually going to go in with the clear wax. I just take my spoolie, run it through, and then brush it into my brows. And I'm brushing my brows up, which is the position that I want them to dry into. And I did kind of bend my spoolie so that I can get it down in there and then brush. Then I'm just going to flip this around. This is the brow lift applicator, which I know we're not using the brow lift, but I still like this particular one. And I just use the kind of spatula area to press my brows into place. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. Okay, so now that I have my brows shaped, I'm going to start with the lighter powder in the front of my brow, and I'm just taking a little flat brush. I got this one from Amazon, and I'm just going to brush that powder through my brow to where it kind of bends. Then I switch to the darker powder and fill in the outer portion of my brow. Then I just go back, I take the spoolie, kind of disperse the product through my brow, and then if I see any little areas that maybe I missed, I'll just go back in and touch those up. And voila. It's not like a fake brow or like a real done up brow like we're used to seeing. The trend, I would say the trend used to be more of that. This is definitely a more natural looking brow, a much more fluffy brow, which is fine. I'm just staying home today getting ready to do homeschool. So I don't want, for me personally, a big thick, I'll call it done up or nighttime brow. Now, if that's your style, go for it. Do what makes you feel good. But like I said, I'm just hanging out at home, going to be cleaning, doing dishes, laundry, that whole spiel. So I personally don't need that extremely defined brow. My brows are done. I really do like this product. I like the versatility. I like the color options and the fact that you're getting so many or so much product in just this little $4 palette. Okay. So now I need to go into eyeshadow, but before we do that, we need a primer. We want our eyeshadow to last throughout the day. You honestly can't beat these eyeshadow primers coming from Profusion. They're pigment-based eyeshadow primer. I have white and neutral. White I use more for when I'm going for a more colorful look, something that I want to be bright and really well defined. But today, since I'm going for just a much more neutral, natural daytime look, I'm just going to be using the one in the shade neutral, which just cancels out the redness on my eyelids and gives me an even base to start with. And honestly, the fact that the eyeshadow primer does so much work, a lot of times I will just skip eyeshadow and put some bronzer in the crease. And it works because this evens out my eyelids quite nicely. You definitely might want to check out these palettes from Essence. These are their little tiny ones, what you call these 6-pan. Now, I've only tried 2 shades, and these 2 are definitely winners. We have the Taupe It Up and the Coral Me Maybe. Absolutely love both of these. There are other shades, but I can't personally tell you if they're good or not. You may want to look up other reviews on YouTube, but as far as these 2 palettes, they're really good. I'm actually going to mix a little bit just because of the shirt I'm wearing. So I'm going to go in with some, and look at this. This cheap of a palette, and it comes with a mirror. Not even ColourPop consistently does that. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of this kind of taupey brown shade into my crease. Now you can easily take these palettes and amp them up for nighttime, especially with this darker color. You could use this with this palette to make like a smoked out wing using an eyeshadow. I mean, you really could amp up your looks, but again, we're just chilling today. So I think I'm going to put some of this gray on my finger and just tap it onto my outer corner. Honestly, that's one of my favorite ways to apply outer corner eyeshadow. I feel it gives me a nice blend. It lays down the product nicely, and I don't over fluff it to where it flies out into my corner of my eye. And then I brush it inward so that any of that fluff does kind of go onto my eyelid instead of out this direction. I got my husband some Black Rifle coffee for his birthday. So good. I made him a pot this morning and I stole it a little bit. Okay, so for on the lid, I really kind of want to take a little bit of this coral color. So what I'm going to do is put it on a flat brush and then wet it. That will increase the pigmentation a little bit, give you a little bit more payoff. Actually, I think I'm going to switch and do this color right here. Have it on my brush. I'm going to just spritz it with whatever spray you have available, and then pack that onto the lid. Okay, so then I'm going to go back in, take a little bit of that gray, and I'm going to mix it with just a touch of that dark black. Not too much because it is shimmery. Just blend over the edge. Again, using my finger. And there we go. For me, that's enough. That will be good for eyeshadow for today. So moving into mascara. If you have never heard of Shop Miss A, that is definitely something you may want to check out as far as very cheaply priced makeup. And there really are some hidden gems. Specifically this blush from them. This Color Flush Liquid Blush is an absolute winner. They have some nice brow powders. Again, look up some other reviews. I actually have a couple videos on my channel where I have tried just kind of like different hauls from them. But one of my favorite products is their Tall Lash Mascara. And I don't know what it is about the style of this wand, but it works for me. So here's what it looks like. It's just like a comb almost. And I just love what it does for my lashes. The trick is to get really close to your lash line, like really get up there and brush up, wiggle it a little bit. I am a fan of length and separation, and this definitely gives me that. So I will put the mascara on, let it kind of sit for a minute to where it's a little drier, and then I will curl them with my lash curler. I just love that. Again, some people like the more clumpy look or the more volumizing look. This definitely is length and separation. And so then I'll try to go back and add a little bit of curl using my lash curler. If you want a really good drugstore, try the Big Papa mascara from Wet n Wild. And definitely Essence, their Lash Princess line would be ones to look at for the $5 and under marker. Okay, for primer, I'm actually going to skip primer. Really, if you have a good moisturizer in your skincare routine, you should be fine to kind of move on to the next step, which is going to be concealer. This would also be a good time to apply sunscreen. I don't really have any $5 or under recommendations for that, but definitely you want to be applying your sunscreen even as we move into fall and winter. So moving on to, I am going to do concealer first, and then I'll move into the face product. Before concealer, I'm using the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. This is in the shade Fair 10C. So what I do with this is I put it under my eyes, obviously. Take it into this corner area where I tend to have a lot of purple. I will take it on my chin And then I like to drag it down this area. Now, I would not typically do this technique with a more full coverage, heavier concealer. But for what the products are that we're working with today, I am going to do this. Now, like I said, if I was doing more full coverage foundation, more full coverage concealer, I would not be doing this specific technique. Okay, so then I'm going to take my sponge that I spray as well. This is just the e.l.f. Dewy Setting Mist. And I'm just going to tap this in, kind of bringing this out to my cheeks. I'm using this as just a little bit more extra coverage on my cheeks, which is where I tend to have the most redness. And then we're just going to conceal those purple under eyes. And there we go. It's just giving me a little bit of extra brightness. You can even, I might take it out right here just a little bit. I know, my nose is so red. It doesn't matter what I do, my nose stays red, and it's so dry, everything just kind of clings to it. Love that. So now the face product. I'm using the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. I have two shades. I have Fair and Porcelain. So I'm just going to do probably 2/3 Fair and 1/3 Porcelain. And I'm not using a lot. Even that ratio isn't a whole lot of product. So there, that ended up being probably more 50-50 than I anticipated, but that's okay. So now I'm just going to mix those on the back of my hand, dab them all over where I want the most coverage to start. And then I'm going to take this Duo Fiber brush from Profusion and just swish that all around before we go in with a sponge and really finish up the application. I feel like this better disperses the product without soaking up the tinted moisturizer. So I get it in place, and then I'll just go over it, lightly tap it in with my sponge to get the finish that I want. Okay, so there is the face. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do cheeks because I have a liquid product. This is from LA Colors. This is at Dollar General, which also I now believe they have it at Walmart. This is the Blush Up Cheek and Lip Cream. So we're going to be doubling down here. We're going to use this as our liquid blush, but also our lip product. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger. This is in the shade Nude Glow. And I'm going to tap this onto my cheeks and on my lips. Oh, wait. I'm going to take that off my lips. I have a lip liner that I want to use beforehand. So let's go ahead and blend this in. And I believe this is $3 or less. I really like the name of this, Nude Glow. It really is just a pretty light wash of color. Like, it's not anything. What is that? Is that my hair? Why is that so dark? Just a beautiful flush to the cheeks, and the finish is really pretty, just that very natural looking glow. So let me go ahead and also show you my lip liner. This is from Revolution. This is their Satin Kiss lip liners. This is in the shade Chauffer. It's $5 on the dot. You can get these at Ulta. Absolutely love this formula. I actually discovered these from someone on YouTube. I can't think of who it was. But I ended up loving these so much, and the cost is so good. You can actually get them cheaper on Amazon. I think like $3 and something. That I have a couple shades of this satin lip liner in my makeup kit. So that's Chauffer. So now, again, this is my personal one, so I am just going to go from cheeks to my lips. So now we have just a nice, pretty looking gloss on top of our lip liner. Powder. This is from e.l.f. This is their Prime and Stay Finishing Powder in Fair and Light. Really, honestly, a nice powder. It can go under your eyes quite flawlessly. Sometimes that's the kicker with powders, is that it'll look nice on your face, but when you put it on your under eyes, you're just kind of like, ooh, that was rough. But honestly, I don't have that issue with this specific powder. I will say it takes away just a little bit of the brightness, but you know what? Sometimes You got to work with what you can find. And honestly, this powder will wear well throughout the day. So for that reason, I'm willing to kind of accept the little bit of darkness. And I mean, it's not even a lot. It's not like it takes me down a lot of notches as far as brightness is concerned. It's just a little bit. And honestly, like I said, it works well. So go over that blush just a little bit. Yes, it's going to lose me some glow, but hopefully that will prolong the color. And there we have it. Like, I wish, I don't know if you can really see up close. It honestly doesn't look heavy, and it set my makeup quite nicely. So very happy with that. And I just remembered I had a liquid highlighter. I would encourage you to do this prior to doing your powder, but I forgot. So for highlighter, I have the LA Girl Velvet Highlight Contour Stick. This is in the shade Radiance. So I am just going to take this and warm it up on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to take that color on my finger and just tap it on. Again, I would encourage you to do this prior to doing your powder. But, you know, life happens, and sometimes you just got to roll with the punches. So there we go. Again, I feel like that's a really good combo, going with the LA colors. Like, it's giving, but it's not overwhelming, if that makes sense. It's not, I don't know, in my mind, I guess I always think of like date night as being like more pow, where this is much more daytime appropriate, in my opinion. Now, I also have another gloss from Essence, if you are more of a clear gloss person. Their Extreme Shine Volume Lip Gloss. This is in clear. Really, really excellent clear lip gloss that isn't sticky. Just wanted to throw that out there. And then I think, what's our last step? Bronzer. For bronzer, I have two of them that I'm going to share with you. They're both $5 and under, and they're from the same brand, which is Rimmel. We have the Radiance, the Radiance Brick, which is this multi-tonal bronzer that, if you can see, has some shimmer in it. Absolutely love this. This is an 01 Light. And then I have this natural bronzer, and it says natural, but if you look at it, it's still, I don't know if it's top coat or not, but there is still some shimmer in it. So, waterproof bronzing powder. So it doesn't claim to be matte. Long lasting, waterproof, yeah. So you can go either way, I guess. Which I have used the Radiance Brick a lot. So today I will show you the natural bronzer in 20 Sunshine. So I'm just going to take my regular brush, tap it in. It does have some kick up, so make sure that you're knocking off the excess powder. And we're just going to bronze up a little bit here. I'm going to take just a little across here. It's not for everyone, but I personally like it. Let me look up close in my mirror here. Yeah, there's definitely shimmer to that too. So honestly, it seems like both options are a shimmery bronzer. I don't really know what the natural is implied by. Beautiful application, very nice color. It just, in my mind, I was expecting it to be matte, and it's clearly not. So I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of Dewy Setting Mist. Now, this isn't, if you want a good setting spray, refreshing spray, check out the Wet n Wild 3-in-1 Primer Water. I'm just currently out, which makes me so mad. I keep forgetting to pick some up. So for lower lash line, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of this coral shade. It's matte. Run that along the lower lash line just to kind of give some pop to this shade we used on the inner part of the eyelid. And then I'm going to take some of our tallash. I am ready to go for the day. Everything was $5 or less, but yet I feel very put together. Like, I feel like I've done a very nice natural face of makeup. I need to figure out something to do with this hair, though. Let me tell you what. Hi, baby. Again?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something.
Alright, I don't know what this hairdo is, but this little half up, half down messy bun situation, we're gonna rock with it. We're gonna lean with it, rock with it, and we're gonna all be fine. because I don't want to spend any more time on my hair. So that is my full face of products, all $5 and under. Let me know what you think. Have you tried any of these? Did any of these kind of pique your interest to where you're like, oh, that might be something worth me looking into? Let me know also, do you have any 5 and below, like holy grail favorite products? Let me know all your thoughts and comments down below. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you will like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.